What's up? What's happening?
Oh, big stretch. Oh, big stretch for a big boy.
Like a lion waking up on the rock.
Well, waking up like 45 minutes ago.
On the rock. The Dwayne Johnson.
That would be the worst bet in the world. Is Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, it is interesting how
Not
lions.
even 30 seconds in, and we're already talking about Dwayne Johnson.
Male lions are interesting because they always choose.
He's like Ron Funches is right. He is male Beyonce. We cannot keep his name out of our
No,
mouths.
he's got to come up every time.
Every time.
It's like why
Well, I've
do
heard he's just like the worst.
the
to work
male?
with.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's like obviously all these people don't have problems with the same person if that person isn't a bit of a problem.
Yeah, if there isn't a common denominator.
Yeah. Why don't lions sleep on the grass? They're always sleeping on the rocks, man.
I mean,
The rocks can't be more comfortable than the grass.
I don't know.
Yeah. I
The
don't know.
rocks don't get tangled in their mane.
My hair's getting long enough that I'm getting like tangles and stuff. And
Oh yeah, how's that feel?
Instead of dealing with it, I just rip my hair out.
Oh man,
Yeah. I do.
I actually, unsarcastically, I remember that. I remember having long hair and getting big old knots and then just going through it, just yanking them out of my head and just suffering.
Yeah. It doesn't even hurt that bad, honestly. You're just like, oh,
You just
gosh.
succumb to it.
How did this happen?
You just give in.
Literally. I wake up every morning, my hair's just, it's crazy.
It's just, I realize that I'm in like constant pain 24/7, 365, and I never really pay attention to it. I wonder what it would be like to not be in pain like at all.
That's a good question.
I'm sure that's why people get hooked on pills. That's why I'm not going to do them.
Touche.
But like I chew on my tongue and my cheeks and like lips and shit like that. But then like my back hurts all the fucking time. And my shoulder, everything hurts all the time. But my body is feeling a whole hell of a lot better now that I'm working out.
Nice.
I gotta say, Jack, I never thought I'd say this ever in my life. I love going to the gym. I'm looking forward to it now. Like, I'm stoked. I get mad if I have to miss it now.
That's awesome.
That's
dude.
insane for Sammy B to say. These words, like it's literally like Frank at the end of that episode of Sunny over these past couple of months. Is just like, oh my god, I get it.
It's the
Like, I'm so stoked to be done with this so I could go to the gym, man.
that makes me so happy. I can't even express to you how happy that makes me.
Welcome to the dance floor, boys.
So I'll let Don Cheadle say it instead.
F&A, Cotton.
Yeah, fucking A, Cotton.
I'm proud of you, man. I mean, it's awesome. Like, it's, yes to all of that. But, like, again, just leaning into, what we never told you. I mean, your potential, dude. Like, yeah, you're gonna be
Don't
jocked.
talk about my potential.
You're gonna be jocked, bro.
That's what he said. He's like, dude, your dick's gonna be so huge.
It's true. It's true. You're gonna have so much blood flow. It's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be swinging.
You know what you're doing? Every time you go to that gym, you're causing stress, which is causing vasodilation throughout all the vessels in your body, which is inherently making you larger.
Which is causing swag.
Yes, and a massive erection. Yeah.
I guess. There you go.
Vasodilation. That's how you get boners.
Testosterone.
That too. That's a big part.
But
That's how
why
you make the
that's why I'm
vasodilation.
bald, apparently.
Hey, like you said in your great bit, you're in good company,
know.
And now you're going to be like straight up, Jason Statham, jacked. You know what I mean? You're gonna be an action hero, dude.
I can add, like, there are so many bald people that I can throw into that bit. Like I just stopped and thought about it the other day. I'm like, you ever notice how many male porn stars are bald? There's so many. Those are like fucking like dozens of them. They're just all bald dudes, jack bald dudes with giant hogs.
Yeah, and no body hair.
Yeah. And I'm
Zero
like,
body hair.
there must be something to that theory. It's just like, you just have higher testosterone. I'm like, I guess.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't fucking know.
They're gonna read AVP and they're gonna be like, "So what role are you playing?"
Predator.
Yes. Oh shit.
Yeah, dude.
He's done that his whole life. Yeah.
Hidden talent. like sometimes it goes, sometimes sometimes it's here, sometimes it's not. What are you doing, man?
It just sounded like drumming, and I was like, drum loop beat.
Drum loop.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah, that was when I was fucking around with certain sounds, like trying to make a fucking song. I have no musical talent. Like I try to just get like beat loops and other tracks to lay over it. I have none. Zero.
Bring you guys into the sound dojo so we can craft a new.
Yeah, you've got a whole fucking setup, man. Like,
we gotta get Sam
DJ
involved
Mikey
in,
C over here.
We gotta get Sam involved in the SoundCloud game. Oh yeah,
and we could do like a jam session again. I want to redo the reviews intro and outro.
Yeah,
but I want to make them be heavily inspired by the one of this show, but then have its own like.
Well, have its own sound drops and quote like movie quotes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that stuff would be dope.
I definitely want to do the aliens one, like get away from her, you bitch. And then I also want to do the what does this have to do with Vietnam? Like, I want that in there. So we got to do a Giamatti one.
Survive.
That one would be good too. Survive.
I mean, there's a lot of Paul Giamatti ones.
Yeah.
I am the rhino.
I was thinking about that shit. If I had that, I would have played that when we were talking about you being jacked porn star shaved head earlier.
Yeah, just the rhino.
The Rhino. What a porn name. Oh my god. Oh damn.
Who do you have a scene with today? The Rhino.
The Rhino. God.
Oh God, you better stretch out.
The Rhino.
Who are you working with?
That's like a classic example of him just being casted for the
God.
guy.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of a dude does a straight dude jerking off to porn feel comfortable watching be naked and fuck?
I don't know. But Ron White just has the best joke about it where it's just like, this guy is talking to is like super homophobic. And he's just like, okay, well, when you're watching porn, what do you like? He's like, do you like big tits? Yeah. Well, do you like big ass? He's like, well, what about the guy that's fucking her? Do you like him when he has a small dick? He's like, no, I like him with a big dick. And it's just like, there you go.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Gotcha,
a
bud.
couple of bangers from the blue collar comedy tour.
I know. Thing I love about Ron White is it's like it's his whole fucking like, you know what? Bert Kreischer could be Ron White if he paid somebody to write his jokes and everything. Bert Kreischer would be the best. Ron White's like open about it. He's like, no, I have joke writers. I buy jokes. And everything. It's just his personality and his fucking delivery of everything. He's like, I don't want to do the work. I'm rich. I do the show. I pay people to be my writers. And I'm like, that would be great. Bert would be great if he did that, I think. I'm not a huge fan of his stand-up, and I mean, I love him as a personality. I mean, it's a little bit much. I'm a little bit like I'm kind of really backed away from a lot of comedy right now.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm developing it, and I don't want to be just like, well, they thought of that premise or that, or like have something subconsciously seep in. I think that's really the thing.
Yeah, I
more
feel
into
that.
music now. That's the thing. I've missed music.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm really into lately is Mastodon's "Crack the Sky."
I love that album.
I got it jamming in my car right now.
It's
dude.
an excellent album.
Yeah, and that reminded
Falling
me
from grace, been away too long.
they have the
Leaving
weirdest,
you
like,
behind.
transitions where they'll be like in a groove, and then they'll just somehow. It seems like they're just like changing the tempo all the time in their songs, and it's like riffs and like melodies just like
it's a
interject. It's a themed album. Jack has no fucking clue about
But I do
Mastodon
like
Crack
hearing
the Sky.
Mastodon.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
You would fucking love this album, actually.
Yes, you need to listen
You
to
would.
it.
Okay.
And here's the
Like,
deal, okay?
It's on like Disturbed kind of level. You would really fuck with this album.
Yes.
I think.
Russian Rasputin times, okay? It's about
I'll
a
show
guy
you the
who
cover.
becomes a
The
paraplegic.
cover will sell you.
He becomes a paraplegic and then he becomes deaf and blind. And so then he learns how to astral project. And then he ends up leaving his body and going on like a mental astral projection soul journey, kind of like in the movie Soul. And then he encounters Rasputin on the way, and then he encounters the fucking devil, and then he ends up going out into the universe and being like gone forever.
It's dope.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah.
And it reminded me on the way here, I was thinking about how a great villain for you said Van Helsing, and like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, it's like fertile territory. Rasputin would be an awesome villain for Van Helsing.
And Rasputin is the bad guy in the first Hellboy. And I watched the first Hellboy recently, and I was like, What a strange
I
choice.
know,
to
I
Rasputin,
know, right?
But I love it. Like
Yeah.
Well, and like,
what a
remember that other movie, Anastasia?
the one we watched in school.
Yeah. Is that where we watched it? I'm pretty sure. Because I remember watching it when we were a kid.
Wait, is that animated?
Oh, no. Yeah, the animated one. No, that's the one that one I
The
remember.
Schlegel one we watched.
Yeah, that one was in Schlegel's class.
Yeah.
I think it was like called the Last Royal Family or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Where, the Bolsheviks murder all the Russian, the Tsar and his family.
Yeah.
And, they kind of alluded to Anastasia getting away. But they made that animated movie in the late 90s.
Yeah.
I think it was Warner Brothers. Remember when Warner Brothers was doing those ones that were, like, competing with Disney ones? Like,
Wasn't Prince of Egypt
Prince
one
of
of them?
Egypt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Anastasia was another one of those. Rasputin scared the fucking shit out of me in that
Spirit
movie.
was another one, I think, too.
Yeah.
What a
Anyway.
banger soundtrack.
Yeah, but man. Then seeing him in Hellboy, and he's just a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
He is a cartoon.
He's like this jacked bald dude.
I know.
Like, wait.
It turns into a big old H.P. Lovecraft squid.
Oh yeah, he does. That's right. Yeah, I did.
You said you just watched this movie.
I watched it like before bed. I was like, yeah.
You started the movie.
I love Samael, the creature.
Samael.
But we'll review Hellboy.
I know,
someday.
but
yes, I totally
see,
agree.
Here's the thing: they really haven't dug into like the potential Lovecraft shit in movies.
Yeah.
Like we haven't seen like a straight up adaptation.
Yeah, like
I thought
Lovecraft Country was really around it,
Okay.
And it only
never
had any
finished it.
monsters in that first episode. You didn't really get much more than
And it was
that.
all the
Like I
cult
thought we
shit.
were gonna get this
Yeah.
is just occult stuff, and I'm like, I wanted more Cthulhu, dude.
Yeah.
Give me more of these monsters that are so incomprehensible that people go insane when
Yeah.
they see them.
That-
like all of that lore
yeah.
seems so cool.
Even
though H.P. Lovecraft is a hideous racist.
Well, and this is why I'm sick of stories about the people trying to bring out the monsters. Just give me stories about the monsters. Come on.
That's why you like
Lovecraft,
Godzilla.
he's like an OG incel.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Yeah. Oh, huge. Like, I feel like Edgar Allan Poe smashed more than H.P. Lovecraft, like a lot more.
I bet Edgar Allan Poe
100%
slayed.
Oh, he probably got.
You don't get that moody if
got
you're not
some
dealing
real-
with relationship
He
constantly.
started the goth movement, and he got some goth ass.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
like H.P. Lovecraft was just like, I'm gonna name my cat N-word man.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a piece of shit.
Exactly. Yeah. Look, fucking.
Which is true. I can't believe that.
Edgar Allan Poe was just a sad romantic who, got a little dark, and H.P. Lovecraft is a loser
God, I fucking
with
love
a great
the-
imagination.
The South Park where they do a seance and they summon Edgar Allan Poe. He's like, you guys are just all posers. Oh my God. Like, you call yourself goth? Psh, okay. He's more goth than the goths. Whatever, mom.
The great Edgar Allan Poe homage was the whole Fall of the House of Usher show that came out.
Yeah.
Lots of Edgar Allan Poe in there. I mean, basically, the whole thing was based on all Edgar Allan Poe stuff.
Yeah.
And there's the one where they break the guy in,
Been
that one?
really fucking
I hate that
frustrating
one.
me
It scares
lately
me.
is trying to find like movies that I can just sit and watch just a couple hours and not get sucked into like fucking 8-episode season show right
Yeah.
now. Like I'm just trying to like watch some one-offs, get some good content in there. I don't
Finish a
want to
story.
bog myself down with another goddamn series at the moment. I just am I just watched the episode of the Superfans offices with Holly and Michael getting engaged. So I'm almost done with those. And I'm like, do I just go on to another show? I'm like, you know what? No, I want to get some movies up in my brain. But I keep finding myself getting stuck on the goddamn menus every time. I keep flipping around from streaming service to streaming service and being like, do I want to invest my time in this or that? And they're just like scrolling for like 2 hours, man. I could have just picked something and gone with it. And I just finally get stuck scrolling, man.
Found a pretty good solution to that recently.
Just hit whatever's the first thing that pops up.
No, just start writing your own shit. You can't. No, for real. Like when I'm like, I can't decide. Like, this looks good, but like, I don't want to invest in it, or I'm not quite feeling that right. I'm like, well, you got a lot of fucking TV shows that you want to write. How about you get on it? How about you start doing it? And you just watch your own shows in your head. And
all right, I'll do that. Just get up and go to the fucking coffee shop.
It has, and no pun intended, literally flipped the script. Like, I'm writing so much more right now because of that, where it's also nice outside, so I go to my patio. I like have some nice overhead lights. Like,
isn't it so nice to write outside?
It is. It's great. I mean, in this time of year, gosh,
how dare Hemingway
best.
blow his head off when he could just be like sitting outside in a cafe in Paris, just writing depressing stories and just getting wasted.
That was his life.
I mean, I don't know. Actually, after a while, you get really tired.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's why he's just like, I'm over it, man.
Yeah.
Like, this is all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, right? At a certain point, like, artists are always weird. They never really retire, do they? I mean, they do, and it's like really notable, like when an actor retires or something like that. Because it seems like a lot of them either
it's really not that. If somebody announces a retirement, like if somebody says I'm done,
they either get phased out or they
just like people go, yeah, I haven't seen them make anything in a long time, and then they die, and then they just go, okay, I guess that was the last thing they were gonna do.
And that's true.
It's just an indefinite hiatus,
well,
until the next one.
That's true of writers and painters and
but
everybody.
Sometimes you wish that like
Musicians.
they never come back because it's like the Doug Stanhope joke where he was talking about like all these artists like Jim Morrison and Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin, all these people who died when they were 27, and he goes, yeah, everyone's like, oh, it's such a shame that they died. What we could have gotten. He goes, yeah, but what if we got more good, but then we saw them suck, and then you just go, oh man,
yeah,
Jimi Hendrix is bad.
Yeah,
now that's tough to see.
It's like watching an athlete.
He would have had
because like Metallica's last album, I was like,
yeah. Oh, and that's the thing.
I mean, like that's the problem with the last two albums. Only a couple of songs, and they're both like 20 song albums, and I'm like, cut it down to 10. Pick your 10 best. Pick your 10 best.
Yeah. Well,
that's how I feel about most albums.
Yeah.
Like really keep it to like your 10 or 12 best.
Yeah.
Do not go to double albums, 20 track, because most of the time it just fucking saturates it. Make it like release one later.
Crack the Sky has 7 tracks.
Some
of them are like 7 to 12 minutes long. It's a really good album.
Yeah,
it's a classic album.
Yeah. No, I think like with a Hemingway or
like
any
Kid
of these
Cudi,
guys,
the last couple albums he's released like 20 song albums. And I'm like, 10 of these songs are good, man. I love them, but it's the problem with both Metallica. And they're my 2 favorites, man. That sucks.
Artists
that I'm just like meh about their 2 newest albums.
Artists need to learn to like let it go. You know what I mean? I think that is something that, like you said, like you want to go out on top, and then you want to like. You've commented on life in your own beautiful, unique way for so long and given people so much meaning through that. And like a Hemingway, I think, I mean, I didn't know the guy, but like I think they get lost in their art.
Man,
I know.
Missed out.
I wish
you
I
missed
did.
Out.
He seemed like a really cool dude.
A wild time.
But
drink you under the
I was gonna say, bet he was fun to drink with. But like,
not really.
No, yeah, exactly.
Very brooding.
Then you let the your art becomes your reality, and art is only like a mirror of like an aspect of reality. That's why we have music and movies and books and paintings. Like it's just so fluid, and it's like artists never like just put it down. They never put it down and go just live for themselves.
Jack, put it down.
No, I'm not.
You're talking about writing more than ever.
Well,
go live your life, man.
I have a long way before
you just graduated. Go live life.
Oh,
congratulations, by the way.
Thanks. And I just have one thing to say.
Yeah, for the people watching, we're in scrubs.
I can't do this all on my own. No, I know I'm no Superman. I'm no Superman.
Nope, but I am an exercise physiologist now.
Yeah?
Kinda. I mean, I'm still technically an intern. I gotta get a job and get the certification.
Oh, wow.
And get my grades back, but I will say...
the important thing.
I officially got my grade back for my EKG final, right?
You don't have
Which
to
is
go
one
to
of my main
school
things.
anymore.
That is true.
You're done with school.
I got
forever.
a 49% on that final. Just kidding. I got a 94. Killed it. Super fun. My boss did not like that joke when I told it to her because she's the one who's been teaching me about EKGs. But then she was very relieved by the 94%. Great time. Super intense. Glad it's over. And now I'm in that place where, like, if I go back to school, now I'm really like flailing in life. Like I mean, I could get like, I don't know. I'm not getting a PhD ever. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that guy.
What about an honorary PhD, Jack? Get so fucking famous that DU gives you a PhD.
Now that's cool. Now that I would take. If I didn't have to work for it, I'll take 10 PhDs.
Yeah, take an honorary PhD.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't get one. I went to a fucking community college.
Well, one thing I appreciated was when I started this, obviously. So I made the decision to go back to school about a year ago, right? And that was to do PTA, physical therapy assistant school at Arapahoe Community College. And as my good friend Sam Heller is just about to finish doing, my roommate, dear friend of the show, Cody Cassidy, is beginning that program now. And when I looked into it, they were like, oh, yeah, no, you got plenty of time. Like, you've done most of your prerequisites with your undergrad. That's cool. And, like, you got plenty of time to get the other ones done because we don't offer this again until spring of 2025. And I was like, nope, not doing that because I didn't really want to go back to school. I just knew training wasn't going to work anymore. You know what I mean? It was getting to a point where, like, I didn't want to do what I had to do to maintain success.
You didn't want to be a scumbag salesman anymore.
Yeah, really. Yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to. So
being like, no, you need this.
Yeah. Well, and so it was weird. Like one day my mom was on campus at DU and she just walked through the main community commons and she ran into the guy who gave me that front desk job that I did last summer, which was actually great because that got me like going to the campus again. And I wrote all of Follow Me during that job. So it was like, it was worth it, you know, but after she met that guy or ran into that guy, she ran into the head of the program who was like, oh, Jack's thinking about going to school. You should try this clinical exercise physiology thing. And my mom was like, yeah, we'll see, you know. And then we found out all that stuff. So like that one just weird 10-minute stretch of my mom just running into people really changed my life. And then the ACC thing fell through and I was like, oh shit, well, I guess not going back to school, too bad. And my mom was like, actually, I had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. I was like,
dude, our moms fucking rock. That's
They're
how
the
my
best.
mom found film school.
Dude.
I was just talking to somebody on a plane.
yeah.
I was being at work.
There's no point speculating where I would be without my mother because I would be dead. Because I wouldn't exist if it weren't for my mother. But also everything she's done for me
you're right.
throughout my life.
I forgot about that.
And like, you know, getting through the DUI, like that was right in the like heat of that when I was making these decisions. Like 4 P tests a month, classes every Tuesday.
And then you were just like, school!
Fucking breathalyzer. And then, I was like, all right, well, let's see.
I gotta say, like,
see what happens. And it's a master's degree. So I was like, oh, that could be cool on the resume.
I've never seen you more angry or annoyed than when I've seen you blow into that, what is it called? The
Breathalyzer?
interlock?
Yeah, the interlock.
The interlock. And it was only
whiskey whistle?
It was only heightened by the fact that it made your face red. Having to blow into it as hard as you had to.
Yeah. Let me just for anybody that doesn't actually, you know, everybody thinks like blowing into a breathalyzer, like, and they're like, oh yeah, you can drive.
Yeah,
No.
if you've not had the blessing of being on the phone with somebody who's driving who has an interlock.
It actually reminds me a lot of spirometry, which is, you know, a lot of the breathing tests that I run for people.
That's the Mike Birbiglia test.
Exactly. Where for spirometry, especially if you're doing FVC, forced vital capacity, you basically have to, you know, you take a couple breaths.
Jack, you know where you should work? Kaiser Permanente.
Oh, God. Well, I hope National Jewish wants to keep me around.
Get a Kaiser Permanente so I can come see you, and then we can do a whole episode where we're getting my readings. Because I want to see what's up, because I feel like I would alarm and impress.
Yeah. That's what I've been doing.
I feel like it would be like, wow, that's not that good.
Yeah.
And then also, in spite of it, though, wow.
Pretty impressive. Yeah. Well, that's kind of, and that's what's led to so many of these health changes I've realized I need to
feel
make.
like I have also alarmed and impressed myself with
Yeah.
my own breathing,
Well, the fact is,
cardiovascular system.
the truth of the situation is that a couple weeks ago, I did an exercise testing class very casually where my blood pressure, like, I should have gone to the hospital, right? And that was just me like living, right? Like hypertension is like 130 over anything above 80. And that day I was 190 over 105. Yeah. So like I'm in bad shape. Like let's just be honest about it. I'm done pretending. Like I'm fit, I guess. Like I work in health, but like I'm actually really unhealthy. And it's like it's not going to kill me next week, but in like 30 years, I've watched a lot of people.
Why? Is it because you're not doing cardio?
I mean, that's helped a
Or
lot.
because you're just a dope head?
It's because I put fucking 40 milligrams or 400 milligrams of caffeine into my body every day.
Oh, so you just
I
have your
smoke weed
heart just
constantly.
overcharged and just beating out of your chest?
I'm always nervous. This is something I want to be very clear with everybody. If I'm not alone in my room, I am terrified.
Your fight or flight is up all the time.
My SNS is on fire. Like I can tell you that for a fact because every day after I come home from anything, I am so sweaty it's insane. But like yesterday, where I wrote for a couple hours, I went to the driving range for a second, I watched a movie with Mike, I had no sweat. I was like so good. And like check my blood pressure, 125 over like 75, like good. Like okay. But this is the point. I can't do that everywhere I go. Mm-hmm. If I'm living one calm day a week for my entire life, I will die before 75 for sure. So
here's my thing was just as you were talking, I'm like, fuck, I'm probably going to outlive you.
Probably, dude.
I'm going to have to face a reality of Jack dying in my lifetime, and that's sad.
Yeah, well, it's like, it's tough.
Me and Jack are both going to die at the same time. Even if we're not together, our hearts will just know. That's it. It's just going to be the Sam Robinson, or yeah, exactly, the Sam Robinson.
There we go. And the Tim Richardson.
Tim Richardson and Sam Robinson.
That's right.
Exactly. Our hearts would just know.
That, or it'll be like Schmidt and Nick, except I'm Nick, you're Schmidt.
Yeah.
And like you have to take on my family after I go.
Exactly.
But again, it's like I don't know. Like I was talking at
you're gonna freeze me for all of the 50s.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like I was talking to Carl at Wes and Daniel's thing, and like I was like, oh yeah, I'm working, I'm doing the things, and I was
so
like,
fucking mad that's twice now that they've been in town, and I've only gotten to see him for like an hour.
I know, right? Yeah,
it's so fucking.
It's the problem with Alaska, but they're moving to Texas, so it's good. They're going to be closer.
Maybe,
maybe.
Dan was saying like maybe here.
Well, Wes was saying that it doesn't matter.
It's their business.
If they're closer than Alaska, that would be tight.
I want them back.
I miss them. But Carl and I were talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm working at National Jewish. Awesome, cool, whatever.
Should we call Wes and wish him a happy Father's Day?
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
later.
Yeah. But so Carl was, I was telling him about smoking weed, and he's like, why the fuck are you doing that? I was like, I don't know, because I like it, I was like, I'm not going to fucking listen. And then it got in my head for a week, and then I was like, I did my spirometry numbers, and I don't have like restrictive or obstructive lung disease, but I certainly, for the amount I exercise and like try to be conscious of my body, these are bad numbers. These are numbers that are like, your lungs are constantly inflamed, and your alveoli that push oxygen into your blood are like corroding. Like it's happening slow, but it's happening. And so
now you're giving me anxiety because I'm
sorry.
fucking high, and also I vape.
Well,
dude.
and
I vape like crazy.
Let me be clear. I've seen like hardcore cigarette smokers that are like 85 years old and come in and blow numbers that are insane. Like great
Here's
numbers.
my thing. I bet my dad would blow fucking great numbers.
Yeah. Well, and that's the
almost
thing. Like,
75.
It's balance. And I'm realizing like I have so many unhealthy habits, and there's certain ones I don't want to give up and can't give up, and there's certain ones that I can give up or that I can redefine. And like weed's a perfect one. I'm like, oh, you don't have to, and it doesn't mean you have to like stop smoking weed. It's just don't smoke 4 to 5 bowls plus 2 joints and hit your pen all day, right? Stop that. Stop. It's bad. It's bad, and it's
that is
no
a lot
good.
more than me. I do like 3 bowls a day.
I've really gotten off the rails in the past couple months. Ironically, since I got arrested for a DUI.
I've been there though,
and I think that was part of it. I
mean,
just like backslid because it was such a
one of the
difficult
things
situation.
that I've never related to Pete Davidson more than when he said this line in King of Staten Island, where he's just like, I don't know if I get high anymore. I just smoke weed for the culture. He's just like, he smokes weed so often that he's just like, I can't even tell if I'm high anymore.
I had this like little tradition that I thought,
but that's kind of how I was. That's just tolerance, being so fucking high.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to take breaks or just dial it back.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how I was with drinking, where it's like literally I could drink so much and it's just like I'm not even all that buzzed.
Yeah, you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this?
Like I could fucking easily out hit the pink button. Yeah, there he is, Barky McBarkington.
Barking McBarkington.
But anyways,
But
anyways, the thing was like I'd start drinking at the same time as people and then outdrink them and still be awake and still be sober enough to drive. That's fucking bad, dude.
Yeah. Well, and I was like driving
So
around.
I'm like, you know what? I think I need to really pump the brakes. 65 days.
Nice. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And just getting
Actually,
jocked.
66.
Yeah.
And just go to the gym. I mean, like bench press and bodacious babes in bikinis.
No sweatpants though. That's a hazard to the lifter.
No sweatpants.
They slide.
The sweatpants slide is a hazard to the lifter.
With a
Yeah.
good bikini grip.
Yes.
Never risk a blister.
Exactly.
Wait, my favorite is cock back.
I'm getting my calluses back. I like that
Nice.
feeling again.
Gorilla paws, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I love it. And doing yoga, I've gotten into being like, I need to do yoga every day.
Okay.
Like, well,
That's
at
awesome.
least in that habit, because
I need
it's
to do
just
that. Yeah.
And the thing I love it, I'm just gonna fly right in your face, dude.
I love it.
Here's my thing. I love just getting like smoking a bowl and then doing yoga and then smoking another bowl and then going to work out. It is so fucking nice,
Dude, and here's what I'm going to say very clearly. That is my favorite thing. Like that, I...
See, forget TB12, SB420.
There we go. It sucks, and that's the thing. I have to be like, I can't... It's not like I'm never going to smoke weed again or anything like that. I just am going to redefine my relationship with it. And kind of like you're saying,
That's
like,
how I'm talking about drinking.
yeah,
I was
exactly.
like, I'm not saying I'm never going to drink again. I'm just redefining my relationship with it.
Yeah.
Like,
Show yourself that you can.
I've been
too,
having
you know?
dreams
That's my
about
big
getting
thing.
fucking wasted, dude. Like, crazy dreams about getting just shit hammered. And every time I wake up and think about those dreams, I'm like, oh God, I do not want to do that.
Yeah.
But I do think about it. I'm just like, you know what? I would just love to just have like a Jameson on the rocks,
Yeah. Right?
just like a sippy drink.
Well,
Like I thought about it. I'm like, like alcohol is a stimulant. I mean, it's a downer, but it's a stimulant in such a way, and people are meant to enjoy it in the same way that we enjoy like coffee and tea, where it's drink responsibly. You have a few. Like 2 or 3, and that's like good. You're leveled. Not drink fucking 5 or 6, 12. Dude, who drinks 12 coffees within a few hours? Like 3 hours, Jack?
no, but
Exactly.
yeah, I get it.
But
though.
you could drink 12 beers in 3 hours, and that's normal? No.
That is a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So just like so I had to reframe it that way and just be like, no, it's a treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a treat.
Totally.
Not a fucking lifestyle.
Right. Well, and I think that was my big thing was like there was a period where I smoked and I wrote, and it actually like helped me get out of that like overthinking zone and helped me just really trust myself and start writing and doing it. And that helped so much. And then I became of the mindset of like, oh, I need this to write, right? Which is just not true. I mean, I've written, I kind of like scribble down stuff all through the day. So it's like, I was high all day not that long ago, but you know what I mean? Like it's,
Well, for 420, of course.
right, exactly. 420 when we saw Civil War. That was great. Well, that was one of those moments. I had 2 moments where I was like, okay, this is not getting out of hand, but like another year or 2, this could get out of hand. And I'm already in a place legally. I can't let anything like this ever get out of hand again. Like, really can't. And so.
Well, like you thought you couldn't drive?
No. It was more like, when we were going to see Civil War and then like, I mean, it was a dumb stoner moment. It happens. But like for me, when my car was moving, like you guys were talking and I thought I put it in park and then I just started moving and it's like a funny story. Sure.
Oh yeah. No, but I know what you mean now. Yeah.
But like to me, from my perspective, I mean, like I wasn't close to hitting a car or anything, but like, fuck him. My head's down for 5 more seconds. I'm running right into a post again.
Damn.
And like, I truly had no idea that was happening. I was like, so like, I don't know, like, oh, let me just light this joint real quick.
Well,
and
for
beat
half
blah,
a
blah, blah, blah.
second, but here's the thing. Mine wasn't, but I was about to get out of my car. I thought that I was rolling backwards.
Sure.
And
yeah.
then you were rolling forwards, and I was just like
The whole
wait a
Dylan
second.
situation.
wait,
Yeah.
what?
Remember when we went to McChesney's?
That was so funny.
he was on a hill parked, and then we rolled up next to him, and then we just like look at him in his car.
He just slamming on the brakes and grabbing the shift and
was
everything,
so
trying to fucking stop an already stopped car that he thought it was rolling backwards.
So much panic. It was so funny to see from afar.
And he never really smoked weed. Like,
No.
definitely not then.
No. Yeah, well, he didn't even at that time.
But we lost him in the desert.
We did. Well, no, we lost Will. The thing with Dylan that I'll never forget
Oh,
was
was just him sitting alone on the cooler eating the
Well,
hot dog buns.
and like, so we did lose him. We were like, where's Dylan?
Yeah,
Where is he? And there was the gazebo, and the gazebo was like, it had like angles to it, obviously. And he was like in this little nook of the gazebo where we couldn't see him, just looking out at truly a beautiful sunset over Lake Powell. I mean, I saw where he was. I was like, I get you, dude. The thing that's fucking weird that you're doing is you're eating hot dog buns like you're in The Simpsons. Literally like...
And he was the most content
Like he was straight up
person in the
Shaggy
world.
and Scooby-Doo, but
Oh,
eating
yeah.
hot dog buns.
Buns.
He ate
And here's the
all
thing.
12 of
He's
them.
not the only one. Here's my problem is that I think white bread has so much sugar in it that people think it's acceptable to just eat alone.
Yeah.
Why? It's
have.
disgusting. It's disgusting.
When I was a
plain
child.
bread. Okay, unless it's fresh baked fucking bread,
Right, like at a restaurant.
like at a restaurant, like hot bread.
And even then you dip that shit
But even then, you like have a bite of it, you enjoy it, it's just like for the respect of the flavor profile. And then you get buttery with it. But like people who eat plain bread is fucking nuts to me, man.
Yeah.
And that's like drinking just milk.
Well, I do that.
Do you,
Yeah. I've done that my whole life. And I know people think it's weird, and I don't give a shit.
Jack? That's just
Milk is delicious.
Haven't
It
you
is the
noticed-
fuel of our lives as babies.
I mean, like I use it for like protein shakes and smoothies.
This is what I'm going to say.
But I don't drink just straight up milk.
If you don't drink
Chocolate
straight up
milk's
milk,
great.
you don't like boobs.
No, I fucking dude. I'm a
Dunzo.
titman.
It's over.
I'm
No,
a titman.
You've revealed
Come
yourself.
on.
You've revealed yourself.
Come on now.
You just got Ron White,
But
bro.
haven't you noticed the trope of all these psychopaths in movies and TVs that just drink milk? You got Colonel Hans Landa. You got Anton Chigurh. You got Homelander, dude. I mean, you got chick from Get Out.
These are all...
She's just eating the dry cereal one piece at a time and drinking the milk. What a
weird.
fucking psycho, man.
That's crazy. I would never do that.
Yeah.
But look, a good tall glass of milk is delicious. It really is. It's so good. It's filled with all sorts of nutrients. Maybe not the best thing for you to be drinking.
Then make it chocolate.
Well, that's great too. You know, it's really good. Fairlife.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Fairlife.
Yeah, the non-lactose milk. Oh, dude, all of them. I get the whole milk and the chocolate milk.
But I remember I got them one time, dude, and I got so...
Their protein shakes are insane.
Oh, I'm glad you brought them up because I do have beef with Fairlife. So I was like, okay, we have one box of mac and cheese, and I want mac and cheese. We don't have any milk, so I go up to Walgreens. I only want enough milk to make mac and cheese because usually if I get a gallon, it spoils before I drink the whole thing. All right? So I get the little bottle of just regular white milk, right? Or so I thought. I get it, and I make the mac and cheese. I start eating it. I'm like, why the fuck does this taste so sweet? It tastes sweet. I'll read the nutrition facts, and it had like 30 grams of sugar in it. Why is there sugar added into my milk, dude?
Because it tastes good.
Okay, yeah. Then I would get fucking like vanilla milk or chocolate milk, not just straight up white milk. What the fuck? That's like the one time that I've gone, or not several times actually, that I've gone to McDonald's and I'm like, yeah, I just want straight up black iced coffee. No fucking anything added to it. And they still pump the shit into it. I don't fuck. Why does everything have to be sweet? Why does everything have to have sugar?
for people like me.
No, to fatten up and kill Americans.
Yes.
That's the conspiracy.
Did you not hear what I was talking about with my blood
You're
pressure?
not fat, Jack.
But my blood pressure.
I know, but you have heart problems in your family, man.
that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have like no health problems in my family except alcoholism and I guess bipolar. Which I mean, like, that's not gonna like explode my heart. That might make me blow my brains out.
That is true. That's always a potential side effect. The one thing about Fairlife, 13 grams of protein per.
But I don't think I'm
serving.
bipolar.
No, yeah,
I just have seasonal defective disorder.
yeah. Well, that's kind of like we talked about. Like,
That's why I need to live on the beach. I need LA. It's summer year round.
hey, we're gonna get there, dude. It's time. The ball has rolled, and the momentum is built.
Not Florida though. I don't think I don't know. I feel like it's just something about being an old person that you just become okay with Florida.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go to do any of the social shit. You just go
You just live in your community.
crisp your skin until it's brown, and then you go back and go to sleep. Like, that's all you do.
You evaporate.
Exactly, literally. You go
You go to Florida to evaporate.
Florida is you could either be buried in a coffin, you could get cremated, or you could go down to Florida and evaporate. That's actually the most environmentally friendly way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
100%, man.
So, a couple other health things. And again, I want to make it clear. I don't have
Let me be clear.
a problem with these things. I just need to redefine my relationship with them. Monster energy drinks, I loved the 0-calorie Monsters. I love them. I hate regular Monster. I don't know if I hate it.
The full sugar is just not
It's
good.
not good. I don't like
I don't like the syrupiness of it.
it makes me feel sick, for sure.
It makes me feel like a douche.
Yeah. But
Like
zero,
when you see the green Monster logo, you're just like, oh boy.
Yikes.
But all those zero sugars have the silver Monster logo. That's the good Monster logo. The green Monster logo, that's associated with dirt bikes and dirt bags.
that's exactly right.
That's it.
And the 0-calorie Monsters, I mean, they figured out.
And the devil, according to some people.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it. The taste of the 0-calorie Monster, they nailed it.
Oh,
All
yeah.
of their flavors are so
Even the original
delicious.
flavor, the 0 calories.
What
zero
even
sugar.
is that? How would you describe that
Shock
flavor?
tarts.
Shock tarts.
That's how I describe the flavor of regular Red Bull and Monster and like Nos and all that. It's like liquid shock tarts.
That's a good way to put
Like
it.
for some reason they wanted to make it taste like sour fucking candy.
Yeah, and it works.
It
It's
works.
great. It's so good. And I was talking to Cody about it this time. And
Like remember Zip Fizz?
yeah,
That shit was like shock tarts.
Yeah.
It was just powder. They
Well,
mixed it with water.
And of all the people that would know my health habits like pretty thoroughly, Cody's definitely it because he's lived with me for 4 years now. And he was like, so like, honestly tell me how many days in a row you've had a Monster Zero. And I was like, I've had a couple days where I just haven't had one. And he's like, okay, but like, let's take those out and let's just say it's been like you what of those 5? Okay. And how long have you been drinking them? I'm like, oh, since COVID. So like 2020. So yeah, about 4 years straight of having a Monster a day more
Think
than
about
not.
the expenses, Jack.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what I think about with like how much booze and nicotine that I buy. Because that's my thing. I really need to dial it back with vaping and nicotine in general.
Well, that's what the pen taught me. That's why I couldn't bring it. I was like,
Dude, it's a fucking reflex now.
us hitting it on the thing. I was like, I don't care if, we're on camera doing it. It's more like, God, I just can't like stop grabbing this thing,
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not even getting higher. You know what I mean? Like I'm just doing, and that's what it comes back to. And you said this, you helped me a lot with this of, talking about drinking and just the ritual of it, right?
Yeah.
That was me with the smoking of I really like just smoking joints. I felt cool doing it, right? Hitting a bowl before bed. I was like, oh, I can't sleep without it. I haven't tried to do that in a while. You know what I mean? Like, and then of course the big one with the energy drinks was like the taste, and then the thing about the can. Like I just liked having something. It's like why I get coffee all the time. I don't need that energy.
I mean,
I just have oral fixations.
Remember back when we had the older setup and we actually had the room, we came in, both of us individually without consulting each other. Each of us had 5 different beverages.
Yeah.
That we were each consuming at the same time individually throughout the whole podcast.
100%. I mean, it's a joke my parents made about me when I was a little kid. I always wanted 5 drinks. Always.
I mean, I'm a huge beverage guy too. I love it. I love having the variety. I like taking a little sippy sip of everything.
and you got to lean into that, right? And I was like, I can't give
But
that
here's
up.
the thing is, you started off last week's podcast being like, hey, like the caffeine get off the rails today, like out of control. You let it get away from you. That's what you said.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I consume maybe like 1 to 2 caffeine drinks a day. 3. Depends on the whole situation of what's going on. Jesus, Winston's losing it.
He misses Mike.
Yeah. Like, I'll get a sugar-free Red Bull from work as a shift drink, and then maybe I'll have that the next day. Maybe I don't. I have a whole like 5 in the fridge right now because they just stack them up because it's like, well, I get it for free. I'm just gonna get one even if I don't have it.
I would definitely do that.
I'll make a tea, maybe. A black tea, I like the celestial seasonings with the buffalo on it. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I like Tension
Morning
Tamer because
Thunder.
it's got a dragon on it, which is pretty dope. But
yeah, I'm not huge on the caffeine. My thing is nicotine. That's where I get really all my stimulus from.
see, and I just luckily never went down that path. And the times I have had nicotine, it's just really overwhelming. But like also, it's all rooted in the same stuff, right? And that's where my solution to the monsters, and it's really worked this week.
Oh, this thing is like a fucking adult baby pacifier for me at this point.
Right.
Like,
if you could get unlimited hit, like that's the thing with like a joint or a cigarette, it's going to be gone eventually, right?
Yeah.
And then you smoke like
But the
5
pen-
cigarettes, you're like,
but
oh, I
that's-
should stop this,
see, you finding your lack of control with the pen is exactly why I don't buy a pen. Because when I did
Well,
back
you
in
said
the
it.
day,
Yeah.
I had it. I'm like, I would just hit it so often
I thought about you.
inside and not even like fucking, I would rip through it and it's like, wow, that's $65 in like 2 days.
Yeah, dude, I was like walking out of my shifts from National Jewish, just like
But-
taking quick hits. I'm like, I'm coming out of a respiratory hospital. What am I doing?
This is one of my bigger regrets. I wish I took better care of this device. Was getting the PAX vaporizer that you could actually put the flour into, and it would like toast it and vaporize it. And I fucking loved that thing. That thing was amazing.
Yeah.
But I didn't take good enough care of it, and now it's like forever stuck inside of the thing. So
tricky.
I would totally invest in another one of those. That thing was amazing.
Yeah,
And it smells good too. I mean, like the actual like burned up flour, it smells kind of like burnt popcorn a little bit.
yeah,
But like the actual vapor taste is really good.
yeah. Interesting.
The bad news about vapes, like flower vapes, is pesticides on the flower.
Wow. I mean,
You get a bunch of
I
heavy
just-
metals in your lungs.
Well, I got microplastic in my balls, dude. I don't care at this point. We're all just gonna die of something. That's the thing. People shit on me like, oh, do you drink Diet Coke? It's got all this one, it's gonna give you cancer. I'm like, everything's gonna give me cancer, man. Let me enjoy my DC, dog.
Right. Well, exactly. Find those things you can enjoy while still at least
And also,
attempting to be healthy.
I'm not
yeah.
like shotgunning a 24-pack a day, man.
Right.
I'll have like 2 Diet Coke. That's my coffee, really, is Diet Coke. Like I'll have Diet Coke at work, but like I'll make tea. Coffee is a rarity for me.
Well, it's been my godsend this week as far as the energy drinks. Liquid Death.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Liquid Death. Give us money because I drink your stuff all the time now.
Jack, you have to email them right after this podcast.
I
I will not release this
have-
until you get that Liquid Death sponsorship.
And I was kind of like,
They're sponsoring fucking
I was
everybody.
going to say, I mean, I should have brought one.
I would rock a can on the pod.
All right, 100%.
And they're dope, too.
That's what I'm saying.
And they have the
Liquid
best
Death.
sparkling water.
I got one the other night after a comedy show with a friend I went to. He got a beer. I just got one of those.
They're
great.
good.
And it feels like it's the ritual thing you said. It's the tall can,
I like
which
the
is
can,
great
and I
for
love the recyclability of the
Yes.
can. Also, don't crush your cans,
Don't
people.
do it. That's, yeah.
Crushing your cans fucks up the sorting process.
Yeah, but they can't recycle it.
They can't recycle it. Yeah, so if you got
Don't
one
do
of those
that.
can presses, stop it. If you stomp on your can, stop it. Just throw the full can away. I know it feels great. You feel like a big old gorilla with the can. Just don't do it. It's
Yes.
hard. It fucks up the recycling.
Yeah,
we
it-
need to recycle.
It literally...
And that's why I love like Ball Arena and then Jason Momoa, Ball Company making the aluminum party cups. Don't crush those either, but also you can just fucking reuse those. Throw those in the dishwasher. I still have mine from when I went to the Avalanche
Yeah, I
game.
got like 4 or 5 now at my place.
Yeah. You know, just reuse those. They're great. Long-term cups. They're party cups. I love that. Just make everything fucking aluminum. Aluminium is the future.
Plastics 3% recyclable, aluminum 70%.
Yep.
That's what
Glass.
Liquid Death says.
Glass, too.
Well, and then, of course...
I like the ball mason jars just
Yeah.
as like kitchen cups.
yeah.
The wide mouth ball.
Yeah.
I like those.
Yeah, those are great. Mm-hmm. 100%.
Well, that was the thing that threw me off so much because Ball was the only thing that I associated that company with was making the mason jars. So when they bought the arena, I'm like, how?
Yeah.
How many people are pickling to elicit enough money to buy the Pepsi Center? But then I looked into it and it's like, oh, aerospace, and it's one of those kind of companies.
Yeah.
Like Coors, it's not just beer. It's multiple fucking invested projects. So that was just the thing. I was just like, what? And then me thinking about like learning about going to blackjack for the first, or not blackjack, Black Hawk, playing blackjack there for the first time, but seeing like the Bally's Casino up there, I'm just like, isn't that a gym? Isn't that where Choose Fitness is now? It used to be a Bally's. It's like, yeah, it used to be a gym, and then they closed that division, and now they're gambling. They're all. It's like we gamble and we help people get in shape. That's not making us money. We're gonna fold that. We're gonna
fully dive into the Vice game.
Yes. We're gonna hook up with Barstool Sports.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's worked for them. Profit margins, right? That's what it's all about.
Dude, let's just like set aside like $300 and go to Black Hawk and just rip it.
Go crazy.
Yes. I want to do blackjack.
Native born from Las Vegas.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, I fucking love blackjack, dude.
I want to go with you.
Yeah, I know the whole native. Don't use the word native. Never mind. I'm not bad. I'm not.
We're native Coloradans, dude. People, we would totally like put it on our bumper sticker, dude.
Anytime
We put the ride in Colorado.
Yeah, anytime I'm like, people are like, oh, you're a native Coloradan? I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh, that's rare these days. I'm like, yeah, that's a problem.
That's a bad sign.
That's a problem.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm not happy with this.
I don't like it.
Yeah, and it's something
You're making me resent my home state.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Posers. Fucking fakers making all the traffic. Who are you people? Where are you from? What do you do?
California.
What do you do? What job did you get here that you can afford to live here?
I could tell you. 'Cause
What?
I know a lot of it.
Please.
That is true. Yeah, you got the hookup.
I work with like programming, and I work. Well, okay, I met one guy.
Computers.
Finance. I'm a finance dude who works for a military contract startup. We have highly mobile satellites that are good for like Space Force, like programmers.
Yep. A lot of tech.
Or you're like a blue collar worker. You live in a house with like
that's what I'm saying. Like, what local entry level job are these people getting that they can afford to live here, so that we can take them, so that we can't fucking have these people move here? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I feel like I would love to see
People are getting married just to have a roommate.
I was gonna say I would love to see the number of
Like-
roommates in Colorado versus roommates in other states.
Right?
Yeah. Like I feel like
It's becoming European.
yeah.
How many fucking roommates it is? It's just all hostile living.
Literally can't afford it.
It's just all hostile living here in Colorado, people.
And yet there's more housing
The
going up
swinger
than-
scene is off the charts. It's just all like, hey, I was hearing you guys knocking boots next door. Can I get in on that?
join
Like, here's my resume. I'm pretty good. All right. And then all of a sudden a throuple breaks out.
yeah.
I don't know. Man, I don't even know what the fuck people are up to. I'm pretty antisocial.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, well, and I mean, again, it like going back.
Do people just like go out
don't
anymore?
know.
Like, or are people just like hanging out at home still?
Yeah, I
Because they're not going to the Mirage.
right. Yeah, I don't know the answer. I mean, because I've tried to go out, and then it's like this feels weird and kind of forced.
It
Maybe
feels
that's just me.
forced. That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, yeah, just fucking double down. I'm gonna try and just kind of live on my track for a while. You know,
Where do we find the quests, the side quests, the real adventures?
we are creating the side quests, my friend. We are living the side.
I'm pointing the way now.
Paul Giamatti here in the studio.
Hey, I was trying to do a Timothy Chalamet.
Okay.
Can you imagine if Paul Giamatti had played the role of Timothy Chalamet? And they don't explain why he's
Like
old.
Muad'Dib!
Paul Atreides, exactly. If you played Paul Atreides.
I am Paul Muad'Dib Atreides. Do Duke of Arrakis.
You're older than Oscar Isaac. How is this possible?
He's in terrible shape for his age.
This guy's
to
the
the-
Messiah?
Let's get his papillaries checked.
That's not hope.
It would be a good movie. I would definitely enjoy that movie.
yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, you know what? Paul Giamatti should have been the emperor.
Ooh, yeah. That would have been awesome.
Better than walking.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
Your father was a weak man.
it's like you
Yeah.
got Christopher Walken in this one, huh? That's what it felt like. It didn't feel like, oh, Christopher Walken's the emperor. It's like, oh, you got Christopher Walken. Very nice.
Your father was soft, Paul. Atreides. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh God, what was I saying?
I don't know.
Marijuana is a memory loss drug.
Yeah, but I gotta say, it's just been making my life better.
Yeah,
Frankly.
dude, you're killing it. I love it. You're inspiring
Frankly.
me. Like I said, like legitimately, like so many of these things, I was like, fucking, why don't I just?
To quote Nick Miller, I've never been an inspiration before. I don't like it. It's too much responsibility.
Hey, we're doing it together, bro. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing it together. Oh,
That's the show right there.
Yeah, I mean, perfect timing too. Hit
Yeah.
it. Gotta go. So since it is Padres Dio,
Yeah, and then also celebrating that Masters degree too. Apparently, it's like this weird situation where I'm like, is this my dad's dinner or is this my dinner? I don't really know. But
just hog it, Jack.
100%. Well, we're going to the melting pot, so I'm gonna eat some fondue.
It's like, you know, just start just like hogging a bunch. I was just like, you know, thanks, Dad, for being a dad, because otherwise I wouldn't have all this food to eat. You know?
I will say I had a
See,
moment.
if you think about it, all this food is in celebration of you, Father me as a dad.
Speaking of
good.
Father's Day, this Friday, June 21st, come to the Chaos Bloom Theater, 7 p.m. It's Dad's Day. Okay, we're going to be there, but it's extra special.
Yeah,
Stick
around at 8 p.m.
for a very, very special show.
With the Bachelor Improvidice.
Incredible team. Extremely lucky we get to be playing with them and cannot wait.
The dads are doing a special guest feature.
Friday is Dad's Day. Chaos Bloom Theater, 7 p.m. Link for tickets in our bios. Okay, you got it. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. Also, I will say, I had a moment. I was like watching a test and whatever, and I was just kind of in the back being an intern, and this kid kept like looking at me during it, the kid that was doing the test, and like it was more the educational part. I was like, what's up, dude? You know? And then at the end he goes, man, you have like the hardest dad energy back there. And I was like, kid, you have no idea how much that means.
That's
right now.
good.
Yeah, I was
That's a
like,
good sign.
This like is a dad look I am accumulating.
Good.
So thank you.
Exactly what you're going for.
Full dad mode. We maybe have a web series coming out at the end of the summer that could be pretty incredible. Just pay
Don't say
attention.
maybe. Just say look forward to
Just-
it.
I like to titillate, you know. I like to
Yeah.
I like to keep people.
Don't set
on
a
their
deadline.
toes.
Just say stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Great web series. Go check out the vintage special on Patreon. Unbelievable. $5.
Yep, Daddy Road.
Daddy Road, all this stuff. Guys, I fucking learned about neuroscience and cardiovascular and pulmonary physiology and like fucking epidemiology, even though that one I didn't. I mean, that was a lot. But neuroscience was insane. I did it. I'm like, wow.
Congrats, buddy.
Thank you, man. Cody
Proud
said,
of you.
right when I was going to start, he's like, you're going to be so smart after this. And I was like, okay.
You don't feel a lick smarter for it, do you?
Actually, flip that. I thought he was full of shit then, and now I'm like, how did I not know this before?
Hardcore DMT. When you do DMT, you see that.
So now after having worn my first set of scrubs, I gotta say, it's all right.
Dude. Well, you're not wearing the full. You don't have the pants. You haven't worked an 8-hour day in them and felt
I'm
the
wearing
comfort.
the Crocs. I did as close as I could. It's all right.
It's about being on your feet constantly.
I do that at work too, dude.
Yeah. If you wore scrubs, you would be even more comfortable.
I gotta talk to you about shoes because yesterday my feet felt like two fucking big old swollen blood bags, and I could hardly walk. So let's talk about that.
Gotta get you some Wittens, bro.
I don't know if that'll be the better thing. So take it, Sleazy Mary McCheesy.
Love you guys. I'm no Superman.